Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to my stream. I was a little bit rushed. I was just stuffing my face with food before going live. I'm gonna have to now wait until the break to be able to finish that off. Yeah, welcome back. I am Karen Russell. I'm currently streaming Pathfinder Kingmaker. Given that it's now got the turn-based mode, this is session 12, and this is how long it's taken me to become Baron. I have no idea what I'm doing. I should not be left in charge of anything. Let's get this thing loading. And I've just realised that one of my tabs is not on mute. Well, let me just mute that for a moment. There we go. I keep muting it, and then it's like, oh, I'm not now getting a notification, so when I'm not streaming, I unmute it, and then I forget to remute it. And there's also something else. Why is that thing making beeps? I hope you didn't hear that. Well, I heard it, so you probably did. 1 second. I should just take off the headset for a moment there so I could reach across the room and get it. And let me just mute this thing as well, because the last thing I want is a stream full of ba-ding! That's interesting. It's my tablet. No, don't ask me what's interesting, stupid bleeding Google. Google started talking to me earlier and I told it to shut up and it went okay, and then it's now going ba-ding at me. Right, so back to the plot. There's a plot apparently. Levels up. I forgot that had occurred. This is my throne room, this is my personal stash, and it's got nothing of interest in there. Although I am tempted now to basically just dump off a load of things. Because, oh, I got that, didn't I? I got the Lord Protector dueling sword, one-handed. +2, loyal. Loyal? What does loyal mean? A loyal weapon refuses to damage the allies of its wielder. Weapons attack bonus is reduced by -5 against friendly targets. And that's kind of interesting if we go against confusion or compulsion, so it'll force people to attack my party. That's an interesting thing, although it does say against friendly targets, so does that mean that it can't be used to kill civilians? Who knows? I'm just going to put that in the personal stash. That's junk, that's junk, that's junk. That's a thing that I have. But yeah, I'm carrying around 39 pounds, which isn't too bad since, a good few pounds of that. But these coins, they're not many, but there are a lot of them. I'm just going to keep the one. Hey Shazam and British Bumbershot. Moving on up in the world. Yes, I am. I am moving on up. I'm going to keep a lot of the... I'm keeping one coin just in case the game is like, oh, you don't know this person. And they're not going to tell you what they do because you don't have anything of interest in your inventory. It's shed about £5. It's not too bad. How's everybody doing? So yes, first things first, I think I should deal with these level ups. And then I think I should figure out where I'm going to go rest. Class Rogue, nice and easy. Skill points, even easier. Did miss one there, and it's a feat at this level. I think I'm going to take this Piranha Strike. I kind of looked at what my level up was going to entail, and it's like there's nothing here that's basically saying, this is going to be a thing. Although, while you are flanked or adjacent to an ally with this feat, get a +2 circumstance bonus for allies against attacks from opponents flanking you. So basically, it negates the flanking bonus as long as I'm flanking. There's a few things that I could take. You know, persuasive just to get the skills up. Don't really want power attack, but the Piranha Strike, by the way, is essentially the power attack for rogues. -1 penalty on melee attack rolls, but a +2 melee attack bonus. The damage is halved. If you're making attack with an offhand weapon or secondary natural weapon. I suppose what I could do is look at getting a second punch dagger and go for the left one. They're all on the left. So no. Because there's two weapon fighting, and I'm pretty sure there's improvements to that to bring the penalties down even further. Because without it, it's a -6, -10, which hardly seems worth it at level 1. Although if your offhand weapon is light, the penalty is reduced by 2 for each. So it'd be a -4, -8 without bonuses. Not sure if, because here it says your primary weapon lessens by 2. Penalty for primary weapons by 2 and lessens by 6. Okay, so that would make it a 4/4, and that would make it a -2, -2. That's that's not too bad. I'm gonna go with Piranha Strike just for the moment, cause yeah, I'm gonna take Piranha Strike. Go where you got Instinct, Paul. Piranha Strike, and I've only got a +3 base attack bonus at the moment. I know that that's bumped up considerably by the fact that I'm a high dex character.
It's higher.
And now I need to level everybody else up. Tristan should be fairly simple because most of him, I do believe, at this level is just... Oh, he gets a feat. Spell focus, don't know. Allied spellcaster, +2 bonus to and overcome spell resistance. That's interesting. Combat casting. When threatened or distracted, +4 bonus. Die Hat, and no, he's not really dying. Oh, extra channel. Extra channeling. Because this is a channel positive energy. Yeah, I'm gonna take that because as much of it is fairly mundane. Tristan's the guy who's keeping everybody on the feet, and a couple of extra heals per day would be nice. He also appears to have gone up to another rank of spells. I dislike that it keeps dropping me back to... See, yeah, he's now got level 3 spells. Domain spells, Searing Light, one enemy creature within medium range, 1d5 per 2 levels of caster, so 2d8. Undead creatures take more, or do I take Fireball? 1d6 fire damage, everybody in the area. See, I'm not a big fan of Fireball. Fireball is a nice, good classic, but at the same token, it tends to be a little bit, how shall we say, problematic when it comes to friendly fire. And the last thing I want is to traumatize Tristan by constantly having to deal with friendly fire. Target 1 level, immune a suit of armor or a shield with an enhancement bonus of +1 per 4 character levels. There's no heal at this level. Oh no, there is. It's cure serious wounds. I can dump that into my normal spell slots. You bring favor. You and each of your allies get a +1 luck bonus to attack rolls, weapon, and damage rolls. How does that differ? That's 1 round a level. What's Bless? 1 minute per level, but it's only a +1 on morale bonus against attack rolls and saving throws. Prayer is 1 round per level, 5 rounds, plus 1 luck on attack rolls, damage rolls, saves, skill checks, and while each of your foes take a penalty of -1. So that's essentially the Bane combined into 1, as well as it's a different bonus, so it stacks. Does anyone in your party have Fireball? Nobody in my party currently has Fireball. I mean, Tristan's got access to it, but I'm probably not going to take it. Right, level 2, let's get rid of that because it's annoying me that I keep having that. And shall I blast a weapon? No. Could take another scorching round, it's not bad. I think I'll take the bull strength. Remove paralysis, lesser restoration. Lesser restoration, I probably won't need that often. You should have someone with Fireball in the party, right? But that's... There's nothing elegant about a Fireball. And I'm a rogue, I'm lawful good. And I'm now a Baron, so some part of this has to be about the elegance, right? I mean, what that's got to do with casting Fireball, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't like how crude Fireball is. Let me put it that way. I don't like how crude Fireball is. A little bit of blindness. Let's take that. That's always a nice standby. And I've got a level 1 spell to choose. Haze of Dreams, 1 round level. You fill the hand with waking dreams from rewind pleasures delights while in the strange dream the target moves at half normal speed. Multiple Haze of Dreams effects do not stack, nor does this stack with slow. Unbreakable Heart. Rage, fear effects. Yeah, I'll take that as well. Doesn't have any meta magic abilities, I don't think. Right, so now we've got Octavia, who went Rogue, Wizard, Rogue, I believe is next. If not, it is now. 3 more skill points. Let's bring your world knowledge up and let's give you a point in persuasion. It's not a major thing. Next, ooh, we got a lot of feats for you. Right. So we can take greater spell focus. That's always useful. And your finesse weapon training is going to be in a weapon. You are generally using a weapon. I dislike this that I can't just look at the character sheet while I'm in the screen because it's like... Oh, I could give her the dueling sword that I've just acquired. I say just. Lord Protector. And just make that her thing. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that rather than just leave it to rot in the cupboard. Danger Sense. At third level, Rose gain a +1 reflex save to avoid traps and +1 dodge bonus to AC against attacks made by traps. These increase every 3 levels. Well, good luck with that one. Yeah, so... Right, back to this chest. Take out the Lord Protector. I am prepared. No, don't move. Lord Protector is not a... Why? Why is that a... That seems a bit daft. Character, abilities... I've just taken finesse training, dueling sword. But that allowed me to choose a weapon that she can't use. So that's going to go back into the box for a while. I'm thinking about a two-handed battle axe. For whom? That's a good quote. For whom? You know, I'm all in favour of two-handed battle axes. Not in favour of a two-headed battle axe. But yeah, a little bit annoyed that it allowed me to do that. But oh well, you live with these choices. Lindsay the Bard. 5 more skill points. Go in everything you've got. Point blank shot weapon finesse. See, I'm tempted actually next time that I get a feat level, it's just give everybody the allied spellcaster who can cast spells. But I'm really not sure. Die Hard, your spell. When you hit 0 but you are not killed, you can fight for 1 more round as if disabled. You don't have to make some strange choices. British Bumbleshot. Shoot. How long until your name gets changed back again? Greater performance? No, I don't really use that often enough. Meta magics? Could do. Sure enough. Oh, that's interesting. If everybody takes a shake it off feat and everybody sticks together, it's an effective +4 against saving throws. Just on saving throws. Skill focus, spell focus, spell penetration, stealthy, yeah. Throw anything. Alertness, perception, out. Now let's give you that. Arcane Strike, why not? Level 2, choose spells that we can have. See, there's Fox's Cunning, and there's Cat's Grace. We'll take Cat's Grace. +4 enhancement bonus to Dex, as well as all the benefits of haha freaking ages. Oh yeah. Sorry, you said haha freaking ages, and I'm like, what? What are you going on about now? But I just remembered that's the question that I asked you about when to change your name. Right, we got a barbarian. Anne-Marie, she should be easy enough. Only 4 skills. Those 4 skills. And a feat. Yeah, a feat. Gonna take the blind fight for when I'm fighting in rain clouds. Or should I make it no, I don't think she's got much in the way of dex. No, she's got a bit of dex. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on the blind fight. Improved uncanny dodge. Can no longer be flanked. This defense denies another rogue the ability to sneak attack by flanking her unless the attacker has 4 more rogue levels than the target does. Nice. Okay. And finally we got Valerie, the all-round tank. Shield Master extraordinaire with a minor pitiful 2 skill points. But what do we have? Heavy armor focus, missile shield. Missile shield was once per round when you would normally be hit by an attack from a ranged weapon, you may deflect it and take no damage. I assume that happens automatically anytime that she's shot with a arrow. Tempted to take endurance. Is it endurance? No, no, it's not endurance. Endurance in D&D 5th edition terms gives you an extra hit point per level, which when you're the tank is really useful. That is a completely different kind of endurance. It's just bonuses to certain checks. Shield, what now? Maybe I should have thought about this. I'm tempted to go with Die Hard. Just so that she's got a little bit more survivability. Yeah, let's go with Die Hard. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all 6 of the ones. I know that I've got these 3 now. Jinthal, Rogungar, and Harim, who are all not of the current level. He's level 2. So level 2 and even a level 1. I don't really fancy leveling them all up at once, and I don't particularly want any of them in my party right now. Manage kingdom affairs. Lindsay, what you got to say? Boring. Just don't leave with that. Of course, I could just write whatever you tell me, but if I wanted to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd still be sleeping through lectures at the academy. Let's go out and have a look at my town, because I kind of got forced around it, but I want to get an overview. I can go straight to the world map. What level do you have to be to get a better hat? I don't know, I'm quite a big fan of this Stag Lord's Helm. But if it's anything to go by, because I went with no hat for about 5 levels, so if it's on a linear path, it'll be another 5 levels before I get another hat. I hope it's one of them big floppy wizard hats. I'm always a big fan of them.
Hello, my savior. You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am.
Did not expect you. A savoury aroma of herbs and flowers is the first thing that lets you know your long-time acquaintance is here. The nymph looks at you in a strange way, like she never looked at you before.
I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power? I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed, a shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lord, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
I mean, what? Yeah, bro. I mean, I have no reason to doubt that this is a trap, but it's all like, come visit me alone. So like, this is either a lot of innuendo or it's a trap, and I don't know which. I was happy to help. I'll see you soon in the verdant chambers.
So long. I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter snow.
Okay. Don't worry, your Lord and Savior, me, isn't going crazy. Into the house, into the house, into the throne room, Valerie, Tristane, into the house. I don't know what any of these people are. Verdel. Ooh, you look like you're selling weapons. A young dwarf, red-haired, neat, and surprisingly clean-shaven, stands leaning against a sledgehammer. He's busy reading some book, but as you approach, he looks up and bows slightly. Greetings, Your Grace. I'm Verdel, a blacksmith. What can I do to help? You look a little unusual for a dwarf. Verdel sighs and runs his fingers through his hair. You expect to see a beard, eh? No offense, but what's the point in a beard? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. You burn the tip once, dip it into lighting oil and catch a spark from the forge, and your beard is history. You're better off without one. Yeah, I suppose they're not mutually exclusive, the innuendo and the being a trap. But okay. This dwarf has probably got his head screwed on straight by, being better off without a beard. Let's see the goods. As your grace wishes. We actually have cold iron weapons. +1. Tongi. Adamantine full plate +1. Wow. At a mere 18,650 gold. Does it tell me what adamantine does? Adamantine is extremely strong, favored by weapons and armor. Armor granted is going to be a 3 damage resistance against everything. It's always masterwork. Masterwork is included in the given price. Gets it. Oh, that's for weapons. Items cannot be made. Okay. It's funny how much of the actual rules from the tabletop game bleed through into this, because it's like all of this where it's all like telling me about the manufacturing costs. That's in the player's handbook for Pathfinder, or the core rulebook. They don't actually have an explicit player's one. And that's there in the book, and it's like it only really applies because I can't change what this is. We got Mithril over here. What's this one about? Mithril is lighter. Heavy armor is treated as medium. Medium armor is light. But light armor is still treated as light. This decrease does not apply to the proficiency in wearing the armor. Spell failure chances are still an option. Yeah, you can't wear heavy. But I'm also guessing, yeah, that's £25 as opposed to Valerie's currently 50, and if we look here, she's way above the medium. Not an extensive list. I mean, it would help out with the armor check penalties, although, again, the armor check penalties is only part of it. You look at the shield, and the armor check penalty on that is 10. So unless I can get a mithril tower shield to go with that, she's wearing about £100 worth of armor. Halving that would be great. That might actually bring it down to a reasonable number. But I can't. And what's this? This is £50. Shared stash. I can almost. I'm £5,000 off affording it. Okay. Be nice to see if there was actually a way of having. There's a little world thing over there, and it's curious. Are you somebody who was named on the map? You are. And are you somebody new who's named on the map, or did I just miss you earlier? A woman in rich embroidered gold embroidered clothes greets you with a polite bow. Her eyes are the color of molten gold, shines brightly in her dusky face. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arsinone. I'm a messenger from the Temple of Abadar in Absalon. I came here assuming the citizens of your young barony could use the services of a priest. Okay, so I can just get the help as a cleric. How did you come to be in my barony? It's a long story and not a terribly exciting one. I was born and raised in Absalon, but I saw little point in staying there. What is the point and purpose of promoting the faith of Abadar in a city already so large and well developed? No, I was drawn to backwater places where civilization was just beginning to emerge. It gives me so much joy to see the first stones of a new settlement being laid, or to see the wilderness that once harbored monsters and criminals become safe, cozy homes for people. I have devoted my life to my travels, choosing to visit places like your barony. Allow me to say it's a place after my own heart. A city growing over the remains of a bandit lord's lair is exactly the sort of triumph the civilization Zabadar prescribes. I hope my skills as a priest will be of service to these lands and their denizens. What services? I can sell you a variety, various divine spell scrolls. They're quite useful even if you don't have anyone in your party who can read them. While you're in the settlement, or indeed any place with a cleric willing to help, you need only open your bag and choose the scroll you wish to cast. I'll be happy to read it for you. However, take care out there in the wilderness. A scroll is useless without someone who can read it. To use a scroll on your journeys, you'll need a spellcaster whose magical training covers such spells, or someone skilled in magic devices. I could use the help of a cleric. That is precisely why I am here. To make money by selling you things. Sorry, this is just like, forgot his name, Ehud. Jahod? Jahod. Over in the Oleg's trading post. I thought he moved over here. I'm not sure. Let's go into the house of this person, because it's the person who said that they want to see me. A tense silence hangs over their house. Casey, your tiefling friend emerges from the shadows, but her eyes are staring into the distance. She seems to look right past you. No. Not now. The turmoil is suddenly over, but you see fear in Kelsey's eyes, her blue eyes. It's you. I wanted to say, what? Please don't be afraid. You can tell me the truth. What's going on? Why is that chaotic? I don't know. But I'm going for it. The girl closes her eyes and clenches her fists, obviously in the grip of a strong emotion, but one you cannot read. I knew it couldn't last forever. Why did he even make this rule if he knew it would be impossible to keep? She takes a deep breath, opens her eyes, and speaks with firm resolve. Come what may, you should know, Chiron, that the person you know by the name of Kelsey doesn't exist. My real name is Keliki, and well, it's a long story, and such stories are better told by a welcoming fire. Will you hear me out? Okay, she's a little bit crazy, I think. Let's go sit by the... There's no fire up here. Anyway, the girl rests her head on her arms and stares off into the distance, lost in memories. Stories by the fire, in the desert where I was born, my fondest memory. When the day is done, hosts and guests, parents and children, friends and rivals, all gather by the fire under the stars to tell their tales. All they did, all they witnessed, all they heard from other travelers, and the whispers carried on by the desert wind. Gnome Jodas. No, she's not. This is my first playthrough. Hopefully, you're not being too spoilerific in that. But I don't know what's going on. Kind of prefer to keep it that way. A bit of a surprise when things happen. She might be. She might be crazy, she might not be crazy. I have my suspicions. I play far too many tabletop games where people get weird ideas about things. Maybe not crazy, maybe possessed, maybe twin-souled. One of the three. But we'll have to see. If you sit real close to that candle, yes, I suppose the place would set on fire if I sat too close to the candle. But it's not exactly a roaring fireplace. It's more burning down one of the few buildings in my city. I'm not doing it. My sister and I often snuck in to hear these stories, hiding in the shadows just beyond the circle of light and warmth. We are Hellspawn, you see. Tieflings are unwelcome guests in Cadria? Cadrai? Cadria. I do wish they'd give pronunciation as. Unblessed by the light of merciful ceremony. We grew up sleeping in the common tent, scavenging food here and there like orphans, all but outcast and disowned. We were 13 when we left and set off to find happiness in the cities, and everyone we left behind sighed with relief. My sister and I, we are twins, but as different as sun and moon. Her name is Canarath, which means silent flame. She is fire, a cold fire, but one that turns everything to ash. I am a river. It brings me joy to give water to tired travelers and nurture green shoots. But when I flood, I'm bound to bring death. The girl's eyes are full of sorrow. Despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to a divine Nethys, and by his mercy we now live in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane, and when she wakes up, we switch places, just as you've witnessed. Twin Salt. Called it. Kind of. If you cover enough bases, you call it. So that's why you didn't remember me when we were talking to Jamaldi Aldori. How could I remember you? I've never met you at the time. That was Kenarath. She is the one who talked to you at the reception and helped you fight off the assassins. We usually write to each other notes recounting in detail all that happened and describing any friends that Kaisi had made. But at that time we switched right in the middle of the mansion, engulfed in fire and filled with assassins. Kenrath didn't have the time to write any notes. How is it you began to live in turns? This story, it's one I've never told to anyone before. No one in the whole world, and it's not easy to confide in a stranger. But there's too much grief and guilt built in. If you don't mind, I'd rather not go into all the details. You see, my sister died, and I couldn't get over it. Kenrath was killed by a soul eater, a monster summoned by secret followers of Abaddon's archdemons. Those who summoned him died in the fight, but the beast was too strong for my sister, and I wasn't even there to protect her. We just had a fight, and we both did some stupid things just before. I don't want to talk about that now. When I found out what happened to my sister, I was ready to make a deal with any power, if only I could just get her back. I found such power. I was contacted by the Acronothing? Okay. Thrain. No Thrain. Arcanothrane. I do wish they'd stop making up words. Arcanothrane, appearing as a woman-shaped cloud of swirling energy, this creature serves as a herald of Nethys, a supernatural creature created in the moment of lucidity by an insane, omniscient god. The Arcanothane is often left to her own devices when her master does not need her and wanders Golarion and the plane, searching for new sensations and meanings to her existence and that of the multiverse. The herald of God Nethys himself. She promised me she would return Kenneth to life, but on two conditions. First, we must both keep the arrangement a secret. And yet you've just told me. Second, we would never be able to meet again, and so our new life began. We now flee through the world, guarding our secret, always introducing ourselves as Kelsey to hide that there are two of us, and we switch places with each other at random. Whilst one lives, the other sleeps in the demi-plane, one created specifically for us. Arcanothane. Yeah, it's Arcanothane. Thane. Yeah, Thane. You revealed your secret to me. It means you broke one of the rules set by a deity's herald. Yes, well, you make me regret this, Chiron. I felt you might be someone who could help my sister and me change our fates. I've just become a baron. I've not become a god. I've not become a cleric all of a sudden who can cast true resurrection on one of you. Or both of you. It will probably involve your death. How am I supposed to do? What can I do to help? That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. Kenrith was supposed to tell you of an ancient treasure that we've been looking for. Gold isn't the only thing of value in this place. It may contain an ancient relic taken by the Taldan raiders from a respected Quadrian temple of Nethys. It is an unusual relic called the Disc of the Eclipse. I once heard a beautiful story that it was created from the shadow that hides in the sun and the moon. But I don't think that could be true. Nethys is the god of magic, who was once a mortal wizard, and the relics from his temples are usually very powerful. There are many among his followers who think that solving the mysteries of magic, even rivaling that their deity, is the best way to serve him. One such follower created the disc long ago in the distant past. According to legend, it gave the owners control over planar travel, but only pairs of wizards bound by unbreakable ties could use it. While one of them traveled the planes, the other was his anchor in our world, and they could switch between. Do you see now why we are so desperately wish to find the disc? It might help us understand how the switches between me and Kenrith work, and it should make our divine patron happy. Nethys and his assistants value the desire to understand the mysteries of magic above all else. Can a sorcerer twin spell on resurrection? Lol. I mean, there's the healing sorcerer, and I think it qualifies. I mean, it'd also be terribly, terribly expensive, so probably not going to go do that. How did the disc come to be in the Stolen Lands? It was brought here by Taldans from the 5th Army of Exploration, Taldor and Quadria. There's no U, which always makes me really confused how I'm supposed to pronounce a Q without a U. Quadria were enemies for ages. Thousands of years ago, a soldier broke into the temple of Nethys and stole the relic to sell it or secretly hoard it as an heirloom. Hundreds of years later, his own kin, or the kin of its 100th buyer, brought the discs to these strange lands where the Taldans have come, uninvited as usual, and to which they finally vanished from with little trace. Sometimes history is as intricate as lace. I'm guessing it's supposed to say history is as intricate as lace. You can never guess where it begins and where it ends. Tell me about the location of this treasure. It is called Sorrowflow in a chronicle we read. It was once a Taldan town founded by the veterans of the 5th Army of Exploration. It stood on the shores of a turbulent river, and that was what destroyed it. One night, a terrible flood devastated the settlement, killing many and driving the rest to flee. Only the tower on the cliff remained, which is too high for the flood to reach. Water covered the ruins for a long time, but last year it receded. My friends found a chronicle, which recounted the destruction of the city and spoke of the disk of the eclipse, which was kept there. They managed to track down the ruins, but were frightened away by monsters and beasts that roam the area. If this can help, then I agree. Thank you. I will wait for you there at Sorrowflow. And please, let's explore the ruins together. Just the two of us. Why is everybody trying to get this just me alone? This terrible ideas. Terrible ideas. I don't want to give myself away in front of your companions. Breaking the Arcanothane's had to look it up in chat. Conditions once was enough. I do not wish to anger our god. So long. Okay.
All according to plan.
So, defying the gods. First list on what to do when you become a baron. Nobody else's house is flagged up. So I'm going to leave that for now. This person is flagged up though. I'm guessing you sell random stuff. You see a dark-skinned, wiry man with a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. That's some psychotic writing there. A weather-beaten face with a happy smile on his face. Yes, it makes sense, but it just seems a little bit because there's two references to the same face. Is it the same face? I hope it's the same face. He is dressed luxuriously, and his dark hair and neat moustache are exquisitely coiffured. Whatever that means. The man bows to you, spreading his arms a little. Hussein Hassuf from Absalom is happy to welcome you. Your Grace, come, take a look at the best wares we traveling merchants have to offer. Please come and take a look. Let's see what you have. Wand of Fireball. See, we don't need a person who can cast Fireball. I can just buy one off a rack. Ooh, bag of holding is 25,000 gold. Oh, build points. That could be interesting. I love the way that, it's... Oh no, it's not gonna... I can't read that number quite well. Yep, 2 million gold for 25,000 build points. Procedurally generated descriptions. It might be procedurally generated. I don't know. It does. Now that you mention it, it does ring that little bit of the bell. But I've not come across anything else that's procedurally generated yet. But now that I've got a city which is supposed to be, I would assume, fairly dynamic, it might be. Camping supplies and rations, still terribly overweight. 99 dinosaur bones. Because that's a thing. Also used to cast certain spells. Okay. I don't know which spells those are, but... You've got some very nice things. Lesser phylactery of positive channeling. If the wearer of this headband has the ability to channel positive energy, increases the amount of damage this ability does to undead creatures and heals to living creatures by 1d6. That's not bad. What is Tristan currently wearing on his head? He's currently wearing the Inspired Wisdom +2. But seeing as though he might be worth switching that out. Ask him where he got those dinosaur bones. He must obey you now. I'm not sure if that quite how it works. These gloves grant a +5 competence bonus on all trickery checks. That could be really useful. There's so much useful stuff here, it's annoying. Cords of Stubborn Fury. Instead of becoming fatigued after raging, wearer takes 1 damage for each round. Each round for a number of rounds equal to 2 times the number... Takes 1 damage for each round for a number of rounds equal to 2 times the number of rounds spent in a rage. Wow. Talking about, you know, that's standard Paizo Pathfinder wording right there. So complicated. And it makes sense, it's basically 1 point of damage every round for twice as long as they were raging. But that's a cack-handed way of saying it. Ring of the Beast King. Okay. Ring of Plentiful Hunts. Ring of Luck. Leather armor +2. Hello. Nope, not good. Change it. Ooh, that's actually better. I mean, it's got a max dex, which is my limit, or just under my limit. An armor check penalty I'm not a big fan of. Stratagem. What's a stratagem? Oh, it's a rapier. Do you have... You do not have any punch daggers. I mean, yeah, it's one of them. The thing is, I always like, whenever it comes to a merchant like this, it's like, this guy won't be living through the night. It's like, no, this is the stuff that he is selling. What stuff is he keeping under the counter just to obliterate you with, just in case you try and do anything funny, like stab him? You know, and there's plenty of magical items that allow you to sleep through the night. Or, you know, weapons and whatnot of warning. Alarm scrolls, they're cheap. So, no, yes, some players will try to kill the merchants, but at the same token, I'm just like, no, you try and kill this guy, he's just going to pull out, you know, a couple of wands of disintegrate and just blow you away. See, I'm tempted for so much here. Why do you have 2 of these? Oh, because the diamond increases damage dealt by a kinesis, simple blast energy by 1d6, and kinesis physical blast by 1d6 plus 1. Composite energy blast instead deal an additional 2d6 damage, while composite physical blast deal an extra 2d6 plus 2 damage. If I played a kinesis, that might make sense at the moment. It just basically means more damage. Natural armor +2. You don't have a... I could spend so much money just on Tristan alone, because it's like, no, I kind of want them gloves. Just to increase, you know, traps going off in your face because you screw something up is not pleasant. I kind of want that as well. That's 8,000. How much do I have to play with? I've got 13,000. I should probably not buy anything else for the moment. Let's sell off the stuff that I don't need, because that brings down the price loads. I do kind of want to find, you know, the location for some of these artifacts and these coins, because might actually be able to get a bit of a deal on those things. But for the moment, let's just buy that. Right. So if I go to character and go to trickery, I'm a 13, Octavia is a 15, but if I go to Octavia and she can get the gloves, which makes her a 20, because Pathfinder, let's have a plus 20 to trickery checks at level 5. Admittedly, I'm not entirely sure if this is the kind of money that somebody would be running around with. And we're going to give you the phylactery of lesser phylactery of positive channeling. But who to give the headband of wisdom to? You. Nobody else really needs wisdom. But it is good for will saving throws. So let's have a quick squint at everybody who isn't currently wearing a headband's will saving throws. Yeah, let's give it to the tank. Did that increase the will? Yeah, it did increase the will saving throw. Right. So, okay, let's. I appreciate that I have just spent about an hour. I'm curious about this whirlwind. A tiefling girl looks as though she is made of springs. She cannot stand still for a moment. She nods her head, snaps her fingers, and taps her feet to an inner whirling song. Seeing you, she quickly waves her hand and breaks into a wide smile, and immediately begins jabbering. Your Grace, welcome. What do you want? Scrolls? I have them. You won't regret it. My supplies, bring more scrolls for sales. If you manage to attract more of mages to your land, more mages, more demand, more goodies for you. So go to build them libraries, and we both profit from it. Show me your wares, and this is essentially a place to get wizard scrolls from. Will be used. Well, maybe. She is a wizard. That's actually something. I've just realized. Wizards scribe scrolls. Is that a thing that happens in this? You are a wizard, aren't you? Or are you a sorcerer? Yeah, you're a wizard. With 22 intelligence. It'd have to be a level 1 scroll. I don't know what you've... Oh, yeah, copy to spellbook. Okay. I forget that you can do this as wizards. And it's better than just using up the first scroll that you find for a one-shot. See, this is one of the things that kind of... When it comes to computer role-playing games, you know, whether it's Baldur's Gate, whether it's Pathfinder Kingmaker, you know, at the moment, I've got a party of 6, and then 3 extras that I'm probably never going to use. He's too dour, he's evil, and she's evil. Not the worst thing in the world, but I know that there's more characters out there. I might not get them in time to tweak them quite the way that I want. And ultimately, you know, it's all like, one of them, it's all like, do I want to so like switch somebody out? I'm used to my party at the moment. I know that Valerie is going to be the tank. I know that the wizard rogue is going to do some really nice damage if she can get into the right positions. I know that Tristan is just going to be all about the heals. So when they introduce characters too late into the game, it's like, who am I going to drop in favor of you? Because at the end of the day, it's not quite something that it's all like, who am I going to drop? You know, do I drop Valerie, who's a good tank, in favor of somebody who I know is probably not going to be as good of a tank? Right. I have no idea what I'm doing on this screen. This is the Barony of Dunwana. You can thank Critical Commissions for that, because there was the only person in the chat at the time of deciding what to do. We have build points. We can purchase build points. We can purchase build points for days. Why is there a merchant in town for build points? I do not know. Available in progress, completed. Okay. Events. Nope, nothing under events. Skip a day. Don't want to skip a day. Projects. Research into the nature of curses and Davik's nettle. Now that the undead engineer's curse has been lifted, it might be prudent to study it and be more prepared next time. Choose an advisor to handle this event. Advisors will act according to their position in government beliefs and alignment. Choose wisely. No candidates are available for this position. Regent, Counselor, General, Treasurer, High Priest. Okay. Well, you're my Regent. Tristan's my Counselor, that was a choice. General, is this... yeah, Army. Armory. No candidates available for Treasurer. And the High Priest, I'm gonna go with Jod. Okay, great stuff. Oh, when I hover people, it tells me the positions that they could also fit in. Yeah, this is a whole new mechanic thing, and I know that it's there in the Pathfinder Adventure path. I don't know how. I've not read it because spoilers, and also I have no idea how this works in game. So, okay, with the little X's, I don't have a little person. I don't have a person that can deal with them. I wonder if that's why it's like come to me alone, because you're going to be sort of like, let's research this nature, choose an advisor. Jod is going to go and deal with it. It's going to cost 50 build points. It's going to take 45 days to resolve, and it is going to raise my divine stat up by 2 at a guess. And it also provides, is that? Oh no, that's divine. So that will go up to 7. And that currently gives me 1 build point per week. And this project cost me 50 build points. So if 15 is 1 build point. Every 3 villages acquired in your domain will enable to upgrade one of them to the town level, provided that 6 or more slots are occupied in that village. The first upgrade must take place in the capital. Complete relevant projects on the Projects tab to start an upgrade. Once the upgrade is complete, the number of slots in the settlement will increase to 20, and the lists of buildings will expand. Has your 90-day timer finished? I believe it has. We got trouble with trolls. Apparently that's a little bit of a spoiler because it says troll trouble right there, and it says meet the nymph in the verdant chambers. But it's under the title troll trouble. Prove your worth, help Amory, and travel to the Taldor ruins. Yeah, if I go on to show the Road to Glory, which was a 90-day thing. I also think because I did it quickly, I got a bit of a boon. That sword seemed to have how to build a kingdom. Oh. Begin construction of a new building in the capital. While the barony was busy with the council, the sad news arrived from the capital. The last good barn fell apart. A replacement it needs to be constructed quickly before the neighbors give the settlement a humiliating name of the Great Ruins. Counterpoint TTRPG is better than CRPGs. GMs don't always tell you the spoilerific section name. Yeah, they don't. But at the same token, I've seen GMs slip up all the time. It's like they want to keep the name of a monster a secret. And then the first thing that happens when it goes to initiative, and now it's time for the Flood Troll's turn. And it's like, I didn't want to tell you that was a troll. Well then. So, you know, it's 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other. I mean, it could be a... because that was a prologue. This is a Stolen Land, which is the name of the chapter. Troll Trouble might not have anything to do with this particular quest. Or Fantasy Guide doesn't hide it from you. Yeah, that's a mood right there. Yeah, the other thing that Fantasy Grounds occasionally doesn't do is get the stats right, and then you end up sort of like, oh great, they've just done 20 points of damage and killed the thing, but it was supposed to be immune to fire damage. Do I tell them that it's not dead, or just let them move on with the story? Shoot. Move on with the story, but curse you, Fantasy Grounds! But yeah, Troll Trouble is just name of a chapter. It might not have anything to do with the nymph. Although this does make it look like the nymph is actually part of the main part of this chapter, which is kind of a bit of a given. She seems to be sort of like the person of choice. Okay, so economy. What's this? Agreement with Isof Thelamus. The Lord Mayor has offered 500 in financial assistance. You will work exclusively to. It is a generous offer, but who knows what consequences this would have for the barony. Trade agreement with Sort-of. Our merchants have received the right to establish a sizable trading post in the heart of Stetman. Each of the barony, in each city in the barony, gives an extra 5 bill points per week, 2 bill points for a town, and 1 bill point for a village. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was trying to work out. See, I'm getting 32, but oh right, breadth of subsidy is 30. Plus 5 for the stats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. But taxes are minus 3. I don't know what a crisis point is, but apparently they're important because I've only got 5 of them. That seems like it will be useful, but it's far too expensive, so I can't do that. Esquivan's offer. Esquivan Krieg, the High Priest of Estrel from Lostev, has a strong interest in spreading the Stag God's faith across the region. He is eager to build a shrine dedicated to Estrel on your lands, but at his expense. Accept his offer if you wish to gain a useful ally and a place of worship in Estrel. See, I prefer somebody of ceremony. Pillage the Temple of the Elk. Woo! Plunder the Temple of the Elk. Rob it for all remaining treasure. 150 bill points. Prevents the future restoration of the temple. I wonder... yeah, of course it'd be telling Amory to go do it. This is getting Crusader Kings free real quick. It might be. I mean, I have faith that this isn't just going to turn into a strategy game, but it's now making me understand a little bit as to why people like this one. I do like role-playing games where you do some high-level management stuff that basically just gives you boons of some variety. Rebuild the Temple of the Elk. 150 build points. It gives me 2 divine, which even at 15 is still only 1 build point per day. But it's not going to hurt. Unlocks a region special upgrade, preventing the pillaging of a temple. Okay, so I can pillage it or I can rebuild it. They're willing to do a thing. Regions claim outskirts. And declare an outskirts as part of your kingdom. Choose an advisor to handle this event. Trusting, leadership bonus, stat rank. Community. Right, so that's for expanding my territory. I don't actually know what I'm even supposed to be doing right now. I mean, I'm currently only a Baron, and this is called Kingmaker. Am I supposed to be killing everybody else? I'm lawful good. Advisors map. Oh, that's a big map. Okay. So there's Varnhold, there's Dunn's Ward, Tors of Levenines, Silver Step, Canelands, Brandland Mountains, Thousand Voices, although they're not doing the... Oh no, Thousand Voices is a little bit... Glennyborn, Pitax, Dire Nald Marches, North Nald Marches, South Nald Marches. You have 2 jobs, command and conquer. Sometimes I think you're obsessed with that game. Which reminds me, now that you've got your computer built, have you actually started getting around to playing Command and Conquer 2 that you were so hyping yourself up for? Right, training, nothing, rank up, nothing, projects, other regions. See, if I go to this journal, kingdom quests, how to build a kingdom. While the Barony was busy, sad news, the last good barn fell apart. Needs a replacement. Economy. Trade agreement. Agreement with somebody. If Ivansky's offer. Pillage the temple. Rebuild the temple. Trade agreement. Where's the rebuild the barn option? I'm queuing you up for a plug. Oh, you're queuing me up for a plug. Yeah, nice segue. Kind of. Yeah, let's. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with what's happening on the screen, so let me look at the camera. Not that the camera's on, and it's not ever going to be on because it's attached to my work's laptop, but it helps if I don't look at the screen. So yeah, Command and Conquer. Why that's building me up for a plug is because for the last 2 weeks I have been playing the Command and Conquer Remastered that came out not too long ago on from EA. Interesting fact is actually it wasn't EA. EA's published it, but the developers of it is Petroglyph Studios. Petroglyph Studios is actually founded by the people who left Westwood Studios after EA took over Westwood Studios. So basically, EA bought Westwood for the Command and Conquer franchise, probably fired off a bunch of people or reduce them down to a minor team, as EA have want to do. They then left and founded a new studio that now EA use to do the remasters. Quite interesting. But anyway, apart from that, just something that I found out digging around the internet the other day when I was talking about some other studios. I've been playing it through. I've been recording my playthrough rather than streaming it, because it's a strategy game. It can get a little bit frantic at times. It can also get a little bit boring at times. So, you know, when it gets boring, you can skip ahead. When it gets frantic, I don't have to be trying to concentrate talking chit-chat as well. But they have been being released over on my YouTube channel that Nightbot has just dropped into the chat. So if you go over there, like, comment, subscribe, and all that nonsense over there, don't if you don't want. I don't care. I just want people to do what they want to do. But if you subscribe, then you'll get notifications. I'm still trying to figure out my schedule over on my YouTube channel, because I like to upload the videos on demand from my Pathfinder, but since I'm going to 3 hours, I've started splitting them, so that's taking up 4 days of a 7-day week, meaning that that's only 3 missions for Command & Conquer. That, to me, feels like it's going to take forever to get through the entirety of Command & Conquer, but prior to that I was doing 2-hour sessions, uploading twice. That means 5 missions in Command & Conquer, which meant that it was not going to take any time at all, and it meant I needed to play and record a lot of Command & Conquer. So I'm a bit flummoxed as to what the schedule is going to be over on my YouTube, but at the same token, at the moment, videos are going up daily. But if you're here watching me play Pathfinder, be warned, some of those videos are just Pathfinder. So yeah, right, back to being overwhelmed by not knowing what's going on. Right, I want to rebuild this temple. Jod seems a great person to do it. I have 450 build points. Let's start that project. This guy, do I want to... He's busy doing something. Let's leave that. Projects. If I click on projects, research into this. Who's up for that? Jod again. Jod, you're a very busy man. So yeah, that's actually about as best I can do. I don't want to do anything like that. Regions, claim outskirts. I'm tempted to claim the outskirts. It's going to take 14 days. What's the benefits of it? Take the one who cares about the land. I think that means I'll be going with it. Declare the outskirts part of your kingdom. I mean, who am I claiming it from? I thought you were already on one of those final nod missions. Benefit, you get to put your name on it. I mean, I do get to put my name on it, and more land is always great. But at the same token, it means, you know, if we go to this map, it means that I'm basically cutting off Varnhold from the Null Marches and everybody else out over that way. Not entirely sure if they're going to appreciate that. Also, you know, I know that Oleg's in the outskirts, so he might not be too bad. Events, got nothing. Region, should I claim it? I don't know. So confused. I'm going to leave it for the moment. So it's just Jod going over, rebuilding the Temple of the Oak. I know you're tired. How do I go to bed? Tristan, Valerie, Jod.
How
Hello.
may I serve you, your grace?
I need the help of the cleric. I can still buy things off of this guy. I thought you were already on one of the final nod missions. I'm not on one of... I did some poking around, and I think there's 13 missions on the nod side. And I'm up to mission 9, I believe. Or thereabouts. What's this button do? Where's this take me? This takes me to bed. I have a very big bedroom. with pretty little of that. And that opens up my other personal stash. That is a magical flail that has been identified by somebody who is not currently in my room. I have another chest that doesn't actually do a thing. I mean, I've got 4 more missions on Command and Conquer, but they're sort of like getting into the final missions, which means that it's more difficult. One of the reasons why I'm actually putting it off at the moment, I'm up to the Nod mission where I've got to do something, and it's one of the missions that's just awkward to do, so I'm kind of putting it off a bit, but I know that tomorrow I've got to record, or I'm not going to have anything for Saturday. I don't know. I've got a post-it note somewhere around telling me what it is. But yeah, I'm running out of content to upload and release. So I think tomorrow I have to record myself doing that, or there's not going to be anything for Saturday. After that, I need to do another mission so that I've got something for Sunday. After that, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday. So this weekend I need to record 4 more missions, and hey-ho, that's all 4 more missions that complete Nod, and I have to find some time to do it over the weekend, and edit it, and upload it. I might not be able to make it in time. And then I've got to consider starting thinking the GDI side. I've got a couple more weeks of Command and Conquer, the original one, left yet. Let's go to bed. Let's... Jod, you're still stood there. Why are you still stood there? That is not far. No, I don't want to manage my kingdom affairs. Speaking of Nod, let's go to bed. Yeah, nodding off. Did anything else come up? No, nothing else came up. Okay, projects, yeah, okay, it's just that one. Everything else is busy. I could go claim the outskirts, but I kind of want to find out. What is your point in all of this? Can I rely on you in matters of state? Certainly, Your Grace. To the best of my ability. I've learned from Lady Aldori not only the art of the sword, but also the ability to inspire. I could apply myself in the role of military advisor. Yeah, you fight Amri for that role. Do you know much of the history of Brev of the neighbouring lands? In the rest of I spent nearly as much time studying historical chronicles as I did training the sword. What would you like to discuss? I would have liked to have discussed the outskirts, or whatever it was called. I need to discuss politics and affairs with the barony. What can you tell me about the River Kingdoms? In the past, there were little more than Nestor's bandits. Frankly, that hasn't really changed. All the kingdoms, Patax is probably the greatest interest. King Irovetti rose to power too quickly and too easily. I'd recommend Your Grace take caution with him. What's the situation between Aldri and the royal house of Sutrova? The Sutrovas and the Aldri, different in nature and spirit. They are water and stone, a snake and eagle. When Karl the Conqueror came to our lands, the Sutranovas didn't even attempt to defend themselves. They gave up the crown in exchange for the position of power in the new court, along with the safety of their lands. The Aldori went to war and lost. I dare not even say valiantly lost. The damage inflicted on the Rosland's armies by the Red Dragons of the Coral Conqueror, well, it was a slaughter, a crushing defeat. Even with 2 centuries of effort, the Aldori and the Rostlands have yet to fully recover. For 2 centuries we fought for survival, while the Sutrovas have flourished and grown stronger at the side of the throne. Needless to say, now the King Nieleski Sutrova and his sister Natala Rule over Brevov, our relationship hasn't improved. The Sutrovas fear the Aldori, and the Aldori don't trust the Sutrovas. That's the current situation between those houses. Yeah, far too quickly. And it wasn't 45 days, it was 35 days, something like that. It was ridiculously quick. It's all like I woke up about a month ago and decided, you know what, I'm going to become a baron. And here I am today, a baron. It's a success story. As a storyteller. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled and his beard is white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth to its rhythm. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Ah, who is there? Is that you, my grace? Who are you? I am an elf from Chiron. Chiron? Because it's very close to Chiron. There's no R. Chironin. My name is not important. I am the... Well, why didn't you just... Oh, wait, no. That's a place. That's not his name. Chironin. My name is not important. I am the storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. Long ago, I was a smith in Corin. The fires of the forge have burnt out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. If I could see, I would yet still forge suits of armor for Iadra's gods. Instead, I have stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. Many people are long dead, their homes crumbled to dust and their bodies turned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear stories about us after our demise. I have always been drawn to the stolen lands, where countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be a part of its story. So I made the journey here. Kehoe. It's his elevator pitch. What? Elevator pitch. Confused. Kihonin. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you? A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf, and an old one, yes. Perhaps older than any other elf in Kyoin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Glorian, but they live on in my memories and in my heart. I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of the words and the emotions they invoke. I sometimes think that I probably should have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting the ability to continue my quest to gather stories, be it divine power or fell curse. I am grateful either way. How could you tell it was me? It is not hard to recognize a ruler by the way he walks. No one here steps as confidently as you, Your Grace. Alright, would you care to trade stories with me? I am a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. I can be certain you will keep my stories intact, in their absolute purity? No. I don't think so. At least, not yet. These legends are the most precious valuables in this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long ago. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. He's cray. I can offer you a deal, Your Grace. If on your journeys you discover items that come from past eras, bring them to me, and if my eyes can see the stories these relics hold, I will gladly share them with you. And if you find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, you can even recall my missing skills to unite them and restore them. Till we meet again, I'm going to go pick up all the things that I've dumped in this box over here.
Should be.
Elevator pitch is a brief 2-3-minute pitch, the kind wannabe scriptwriter Starbucks waiter would use should they ever accidentally end up in a lift with a top LA film producer. I mean, that's quite an interesting concept. His elevator pitches are like, yes, I have stories and you will enjoy them. And the mouse is doing something weird. Notice it'll flash up a square 3 rows down? 4 rows down. It's gone off the bottom of the screen. Curious. Don't know what that's about. Don't like it. Don't like bugs. Right, so let's go stitch all these things together. I have found shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? The storyteller gently touches the items from your pack. The scorched piece of metal is part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it I sense the stories of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. Okay, so I need all 7 of them. White Squares is just the GM messing with you. Yeah, probably. I brought some relics. Are any worthy of story? How interesting. May I, Your Grace? A coin from a non-existent country. When Corral the Conqueror mastered Rossland, having claimed it for brevity, he prohibited the issuance and use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the Aldori swordlords were required to use new coins, decorated with the coral's profile. But no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no. In many houses they still store boxes and whole chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rostov declared its independence. I gave him 1 coin and got 3,200 gold. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, the scent of the smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad's mark, is it not? I will be happy to purchase it from you. What is the name of the Coloran ruler who issued this coin? Does anyone remember now? What did the Cyclops use to purchase? Food? Books, weapons, perhaps someone's life or their freedom. Who can say? Its history was erased by the Earthfall. But I will buy it from you for significantly more than it was worth in its own time. Earthfall is a name given to a cataclysmic event that, in which a swarm of meteorites impacted on Galorian in minus 5,293 AR. So current year is 4,000, about 10,000 years ago. It resulted in the destruction of the human empires of the Philocene and Aslant, which were consumed by earthquakes, massive tidal waves, and the creation of the inner sea. The cloud of dust thrown up in Earthfall's impact settled in Galorian's upper atmosphere and blotted out the sun for 1,000 years, creating the Age of Darkness. The soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle dies and leaves it to others to decide whether their cause was just. This tag once belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Taldan Empire. If you would permit, I would gladly purchase it from you. Ah, the belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story, but there are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them, and I'm sure you won't regret the time you spend in the search. Okay. All 5 of what, though? He didn't exactly make that clear. I need a wise advisor at my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? Thank you for your words. I am unlikely to be able to interpret any intricacies of the political world or the affairs of a treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of the arts will be useful to any ruler. Till we meet again. The storyteller doesn't answer. His unseeing eyes stare ahead blankly. Okay, I am actually going to get out of this town eventually this session. I appreciate this is probably not great viewing. But at the same token, it's like, this is a lot for me to take in. I'm surprised that I don't actually have a tab now for my kingdom. But we are at the 1 hour 30-minute mark. So we are going to take a bit of a break here. And by that, I'm going to take 10 minutes, stretch my legs, grab a coffee. I will be back in those after those 10 minutes. If you want, be here. If you don't want, don't be here. And yeah, oh yeah, I've got a screen for this. I don't have any music queued up yet again, but where's my countdown timer? To remind me in 10 minutes. But we'll listen to the background noise of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Alright, see you in 10 minutes, folks.